and now hit 50K. It's actually over 51K, but hey, my mouth runs and we lose subscribers all the time. So there's a chance we could be at 50K even by the end of this broadcast. You never know. You never know, because guys, what's awesome about you is you let me say what I need to say. And I'm not going to be right every time, but I'm certainly not going to take a quote unquote partisan perspective. And I'm always going to give an honest opinion. And right away, you got to love it, but the conspiracy theories were afoot, and the haters were like, "Oh, Jason, your thing hasn't moved. You know, it was at 46.5. It was actually a little bit above that, but because of the topics that I cover and the honesty in which I cover them, a lot of times we lose subscribers. So it was like a 46.5. I had a net gain for a few weeks, and Gary Franchi of Next News Network. We've known each other since 2006, I think, is when I met him in Chicago. And he was the Lone Lantern Society then, and we've kept in touch, and he's done a lot of great stuff. And I don't have to agree with Franchi on everything, but that's the whole point, right? He has a big audience, and he had sent me something regarding Dr. Shiva and bricks and something else, and I hit him back with the email hack story before it was news, and then he came back, let us do a video. It's got like almost 250,000 views at this point, and that got me up to where I am. So new guys, thank you so much for coming in. What we like to do here, especially with the Ask Me Anythings, is this. You go ahead and ask a question. There are no super chats anymore. So the first thing that I will be addressing are the questions and comments for the donors on the super chat, because we got to make that 5K. So, you know, there's the thing. If you want to get your super chat in, I will come back to this. But I'm going to go to Gritch, I believe is where, yeah, we're going to start with Gritch because I missed his super chat basically last time. So I really do appreciate those that support me, again, being fully defunded on this channel. Make sure that you are subscribed, thumbing up, following me on Twitter, making sure you're checking out all my work, which everything is out there for free, guys. And then we also go exclusively on Rockfin Tuesday for free at noon with a live stream. That's still up there for free. A lot of premium content too, but a lot of free content, and you can sign up and follow for free. All right, so I want to talk about some stories quickly. We always do like a little story wrap before we get into the Ask Me Anythings. And Joe Biden refunded Louis C.K.'s, like, I think he gave like $3,000. It wasn't even that much money, $2,800, right? Now, here's my problem with this. And, you know, I don't know Louis C.K. personally. I think he's a funny guy. I know that the Me Too movement ensnared him for him basically whipping it out and, you know, kind of telling the girls in a joking manner that he was going to do it. I get it, they were uncomfortable, but as far as I know, he didn't sexually molest them. They could have left at any time, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe a creeper move, but Joe Biden is the ultimate creeper. And anybody who's seen the videos out there, that's just the beginning. On this channel, we played from 2007 the debates on the 2008 presidential election where, you know, Dennis Kucinich is next to him and everybody has to say something they like about the candidate who's standing next to them, even though they're debating for the presidency. And Biden's next to him and he says, "I like his wife." I mean, Biden has been full board creep fest the entire time. Okay. But that's really not the big story. The big story, and the reason he was trending yesterday is because Bin Laden documents said that they wanted to take out Obama because Biden was incompetent. Listen, Biden, the big story should be Biden covered up Pakistan's role in funding the hijackers prior to 9/11. And the bigger story yet, and we're going to go over this just really quickly because I've done full videos on it where you can check those out, and pretty recent ones too, by the way, guys. If maybe in the last couple months you type in Biden and you'll find the video, but the media refuses to talk about the fact that Biden went on television, bragged about his meeting with General Mahmoud Ahmed, the head of the Pakistani ISI, said he was the most powerful or second most powerful man in the country. Now, he had wired $100,000 to Mohammed Atta prior to 9/11 through a guy named Saeed Sheikh, or Omar Saeed Sheikh, okay? And Omar Saeed Sheikh, just so you know, was the person that was convicted and was supposed to be put to death for beheading Daniel Pearl, that original beheading video for those of us old enough to remember, they just let him out of jail. Did a full story on it. Full story on it. In fact, where is the Daniel Pearl story? Man, there it is right there. So if you really want to see it, there it is. Daniel Pearl trended today, and nobody talked about that Biden connection. So that's the real Biden bin Laden connection. The fact that Pakistan clearly financed this. They had bin Laden in a hospital on September 10th, guarded by military personnel. All facts. All facts. So I want to continue on, okay? So apparently the FBI raided this guy, Dr. Charles Mock, at a Lerm Medical Spa, who was doing, free or offering high-dose intravenous vitamin C to essential workers. So I'm just putting that out there because that is just insane that the FBI would show up and go after this guy. All right? Just ridiculous. On people being very skeptical and all these different, testing mechanisms and then the hype. We know about the tiger, right around the Tiger King that tested positive for COVID-19. They're saying, well, now they're saying that there are 4 more tigers and 3 lions that have supposedly tested positive. Take as that what you will. I'm not even going to go there. I don't even know what to say about all that. On the other side, again, New York, biggest body count. And they are sending bodies out of state to be cremated. That's a reality, guys, okay? And as Facebook censors COVID1984 information, as well as this platform does, just remember, they openly censor for nation states around the world. It's not just for China. It's not just for the United States. It's not just for Russia, etc. And all of these platforms are mechanisms of control at this point, not of freedom. And that's why we need alternative platforms. I've been posting over to Minds and, of course, to Rockfin as those alternative platforms. So in a minute, I'm going to try to start from the top. Please don't spam. Thank you so much, Drufus, for being in there. But first, let's read some of these quote-unquote super chats. Just a little something for the cause. Your thoughts on the solution and how many people lack health care, medical suicides, etc. have killed them. I'm thinking the number is very close to the virus is taken. Again, I understand people's frustration with that. The thing is that still a lot of people will misconstrue that because I believe that the virus is real, that I'm pro-lockdown. And then other people will say that I'm using that as a straw man argument. Look, I can't control national policy. I've never called for a lockdown. Now we're seeing a reopening. What I did say to most people is that you were going to see a slow lockdown of the entire country, and then when it rolls out, it will be a slow unlockdown, right? And that's what we're seeing. I am glad it never got militarily to the point of extreme fright. But if you didn't see that, what was I on yesterday? I did the Tony Gosling interview yesterday, and I was showing you how the plastic FEMA coffins, I should post that to Twitter. The plastic FEMA coffins, right? They were actually flipped over and used as beds in the Javits Center. Okay? So, he says, let's say everyone is scared. Lots of people, experts are saying all kinds of conflicting stuff. Agree. Hashtags definitely suspect that people, of course, are getting upset. I understand the need for people to be looking for the cure and a vaccine, but to trail up my earlier question, do not think that is much more productive at this point than to try to figure out numbers as to who's to blame shift, etc. Well, listen, man, I'm not even going to read the rest because basically I am looking for a solution. And when we talk about the numbers, I'm going to have Corbett on Sunday. And Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, me and James are going to be here live. And we're going to be talking about those things. Because I understand, listen, New York State's big. I mean, they just did the antibody release. Right now, I think Cuomo is in a press conference. But with the antibody releases, they're saying 13.8% of the state has the antibodies. What does that mean? We're talking about a state about like 14. Let's look up what the exact number of how many people New York State populace is. That's a lot. Populace. And remember, they didn't test the entire populace. So yeah, it's almost 20 million, 19.5 million people. Now, if they think 13% of that, okay, let's repeat that. 13% of that, all right, have the antibodies. That means in this state, and the vast majority, I think it was less than 3% out of that were in upstate New York, as in above the city line, right? That means 2 million people in this state at some point had it and got rid of it. That's what they're estimating. That doesn't mean it's real. I want to make that very, very clear. But that would go back to what? The idea that I don't think it's as deadly, it's just much more infectious. So again, if you have a 0.1% kill rate for the flu, right? One in 1,000, right? 1 in 1,000. But then you have something that is as deadly as no more deadly than the flu, but 5 times as contagious. You're going to have 5 times the casualties. And this is so immune based. Remember, in Boston, they tested 397 people, and out of them, 146 tested positive. None of them showed any symptoms. That's food for thought, guys. Okay? So let's go back. Let's see if there's anything out more. 651 out of 3,200 PCR tests in Iran were false positives, and the WHO tests were even worse, up to 80% false positives in general population. Jason is on it. 1978 hidden enemy. Thank you, Robert. I missed Paulson. Robert Paulson, a.k.a. Fight Club. Hi, Jason. Thanks for all your hard work. I've been following you since the We Are Change days not so long ago. I think we're in for a long run, and a few sane voices, though almost insignificant now, still vibrate in the decades to come. Thanks, brother. Detail. When breaking down death rates. Everybody asks, like, I'm the one that was obsessed with this, when it just kept getting brought up and up and up, and I constantly have to address it. One needs to compare month by month since they divert over the season. Here in Denmark, we are lucky, and the virus has not affected the death toll compared to earlier years. In fact, yes, Sweden's death toll seems to be higher than Denmark's. YouTube is killing the independent creators who built the platform. Agreed, Owen. Jason has been doing an incredible job digging up into COVID-19, 9/11, and Epstein. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that. Keep up the good work. Love your Epstein content, and it definitely gave me a few weeks heads up on the COVID-19 BS. Thank you, Jesse Ray. You're the man. I appreciate that. Mad respect, Jason. Love your courage and commitment to truth. Stick to your principles and continue to fight false dichotomies. Enjoy your coverage. But with circumstances recently, particularly enjoyed nerding out with you over the Grove annals today. Well, thank you. Yeah, for those that don't know, I did a full video, but still not even close to what I have, on the Bohemian Grove. And I'm going to read this entire book. This is published in 1974, John Bandersee. And again, this is beyond like just the rituals. This is why it's important to me, other than the rituals and these people being things that they're not, presenting them to the public, is that this book, all right, is literally going over the geopolitics of this, right? Power at ease, Wall Street and Shangri-La, the scenery of things, the bomb, Redwood, and Hollywood. Ooh. So you can't find this book in PDF format. At least I wasn't able to. So I got the hardcover, and that's going to integrate with their annals. And guys, you guys did hit the mark. So like I promised, I purchased the original Bohemian Grove annal. That will bring me 7 out of either 10 or 11. And I'd still need, I think, 2 and 3. And then if there's an 11th, I would also need that. So I think we're at the top. Now we're going to go over here. And by the way, it looks like it's going to jump, so don't hate me. Don't hate me, guys, because it looks like right here at the top where I am, there is nothing there. So congrats on 50K. There's the jump. So let's see if I can bring it back all the way. Yes. All right. So let's get them in, guys. And I'll go check my GoFundMe again for Super Chats in about 10 minutes. How's that? We'll try to make the 10-minute mark. So like at 23 altogether. And thank you again, guys. Thank you so much. Let's see. Keep up with the vital info, brother. Thank you, Mark. Oh, did this already just go down? I guess so. Should have more. I started down the rabbit hole in 2006, and JB had already been dropping truth bombs before then. Thanks, Mark. Liberty Howell, thank you so much. You rock. Creeping that vital, brother. Thank you, Devil Dog. 2090 Echo Company. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Barber. Boom. It just got lowered. Valiant Stallion, like the name. I didn't even realize he had 50K. Have you covered the hot mic at the White House press briefing that said the coronavirus mortality rate is 0.1 to 0.3%? No, but all right. So let's talk about the hot mic video. But somebody, hot mic. It's not really a hot mic. I mean, the mic's always on. It was, and I'm not sure which reporter it was. I think people have speculated. I saw John King. When they start talking about it, right, the 0.1 to 0.3%, I just told you that if they're testing the antibodies on average and they're saying 13.5% of almost 20 million people had it, 200, that would mean 2 million cases in New York alone, right? So yeah, again, it would just be way, 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 way more contagious than the flu. So a 0.1, I don't even know if it's at 0.3. This is something I discussed from the get-go that people did not get. And that's the other thing I have a frustration with, Scotty, is that, when I was getting upset, it wasn't like I thought my friends were going to die. I thought the military presence in New York was going to be much worse. Now, that is not to downplay the deaths, because the death rate there is incredible, because it's such a condensed city. And that's another thing I said. I said, if you lived in that area, that would be the highest area. And it is. So I think it probably is 0.1 to 0.3%, but it's much more contagious than the flu. If you have something, again, 5 times as contagious, and there are so many asymptomatic carriers and children being amongst them, again, look at that homeless population. And what's the number one comorbidity in the United States right now? Obesity. Just pointing that out. We got a lot of fat. And that's something I talked about with Fitch too. Man, 51K. Thank you, Valiant Stallion. Why did Jason leave We Are Change? All right, so no more news. I hope Jason's more critical of Alex Jones after how rude he was in DC. I told you why I left We Are Change. It was a issue with this channel and money, because I got to make a living, right? Even now, being demonetized on YouTube, I'm not making a huge living. I help raise a family, guys. Like, that's what's important to me. So, after taxes, 60K is almost nothing, especially in New York State. And now I'm planning on leaving New York State. I don't know if they're going to come with me. I sure hope they are. But it just wasn't financially viable. And plus, obviously with my channel, I'm able to do these things, and you guys are supporting me. So, I hope Luke continues to do what he does, man. The Epstein Island thing, that's impressive. That's something I'm probably not going to get out there and do. I'm much more of a homebody. And then as far as being critical of Alex Jones, I mean, what can I do with Alex Jones? Alex Jones is, he mentored me in a way. Without Alex Jones, would I be on a microphone like this? I don't know that I would. At least I don't know that I'd have the chops to sit here and talk by myself, reading comments and articles without that experience. Now, Alex Jones also helped me produce Loose Change Final Cut, Invisible Empire especially, but also Fabled Enemies, which I think holds up very, very well to this day. And if you want to see more on the Joe Biden, Pakistan, ISI connection, that's also covered in Fabled Enemies. So, look, I get he came at me, but that's Alex Jones, and I got to hold his feet to the fire. And the bottom line is, if I got to post more of that National File presser. I posted a couple things, and there's a couple things on Rockfin, but they talked about Assange, and that is a huge issue. The Assange issue was a big one at that time. This is just pre-corona breakout while I was in DC. And somehow the stars aligned, and, I spent some time with Rob Dew, and I put him on the spot about the OPCW documents. And we had a good conversation, and I talked to, I think his name's Hank Harrison. I follow him on Twitter now, too, and those are positive things. And at the end of the day, Jones opened with Assange at this thing. I didn't really get to talk to him or interview him after. I hope that interview happens. I don't think the Chi-Coms are behind everything. I don't necessarily think this virus came out of a lab in Wuhan. I think that's extreme speculation. And, hopefully I will get that opportunity where we can have that talk. But again, a lot of people would criticize me for going on Next News Network because they're so pro-Trump, right? But it gets me a huge audience, and hopefully, another 5,000 subscribers, and hopefully they take a look at the counterintelligence document I presented on his show, counterintelligence measures 2020 to 2022. Those are important things. Drufus says, many times, yes, I have addressed that. You're right, but I did it again. Is low pay for, way too many hours. Yeah, I can't work for minimum wage in New York. Exactly. Let's see. Brian Jones, hey, Burmis Brigade. Let's see. 330,000 and 450,000 deaths. What up, JB? Hey there, Burmis Brigade. Hope everyone is well. Thanks, Scott. What year is the Ethiopian calendar? I don't know. Is that the 2012 end of the world hypothesis you're trying to throw to me. Guys, I don't think the end of the world is in 5 days. I don't think it's in 2 weeks. I don't think it's in 3 weeks. I think that right now, we have to push back as hard as we can on any type of medical martial law. We have to push back as hard as we can on any type of track, trace, database society. And we have to push for a treatment that is a voluntary one, that is outside of a vaccine. But if those that want the vaccine, great. You're not going to shame me into it. So there we go. Honest or stupid? Well, I don't know. Them Peterson one. Maybe I'm just stupid. And that's the thing. Hey, I don't claim to have some kind of genius fucking IQ. I hate to tell everybody, I'm a regular guy. But a regular guy like me gets regular guy contacts because he's a human being and he sits outside of a keyboard, right? Like, I love you guys. I freaking love having you as an audience. But I also know real human beings. My phone is full. We don't, I wouldn't say I have, friends in the sense that I hang out with my friends or even did that before all the time. But I'm a sociable person. I have a lot of acquaintances. I am friendly with a lot of people, and I do make friends at work. Work especially, especially as you get older, you understand that. When you're in a work environment, you end up, knowing those people. And then I'm, a boss of so many people at some point. So that's how I got my nurse contacts, and through my fraternity. That's how I have some of my doctor contacts and essential worker contacts down in New York City, etc. You go to a state school, you get a lot of people from New York City and Long Island. Thank you, Matthew. Congrats indeed. TJ, good to see you. Thank you, Carooster. Thank you, Life of Riley. Thumb it up, subscribe, and share. Let's see, in about a minute and a half, I'm going to go check and see if there's any super chats over on the fundraiser. And if there's not, no big deal, guys. I appreciate everybody that is, given, like, I don't know how deep this is going, but I still have, 5 of those 6 months of food. We only went through about a month's worth of food because it's only been about 6-7 weeks, and we've been able to go to the store and get like fresh meat, so we're still stocked up. But this was a big eye-opener, big eye-opener. Have you seen High Impact Vlogs? I've seen some of their stuff, sure. Are you wearing a Bad Religion t-shirt? That's awesome. Yeah, Bad Religion, that's one of the last shows I went and saw it was Upstate Concert Hall, and it used to be, what was it before that? But I've seen a lot of great shows there. It's outside Albany, and they actually had the Bouncing Souls open for them. Man, that's probably almost a decade ago. But Bad Religion, man, awesome. Ashley, if you haven't heard the Christmas album, it's under 20 minutes, but it's a great way to get into that holiday season. Matthew, I love it. What's up? 51K strong. Yeah. WD, first time in. Nice to be here. Watched you on Gary Franchi. See? Thank you, WD. And we're trying to reach more people. That is the point. Have you seen High Impact Vlogs about COVID-19 being a hoax? All right. So if you look at the national numbers, I'm going to try to do this one live because a lot of people just don't get it. For me, it's very real because I'm so close to the situation. If you look at the rest of the states, all right, let's just do this. New York State. I don't want to go to NYSEG. Thanks. Thank you. Now you guys know, actually NYSEG's kind of done. I don't even need population. I didn't type that. Man, come on, Google, stop that. And why are you using Google in the first place? I know. So images, New York State. And let's go with size. Large. Great. That is just great. Let's just find, here we go. This is a good one. All right, perfect. Let's open image in new tab. Thumbs it up, guys, because we do it live. And then we're going to go to the super chats after this, if there are any. So take a look. All right, this is great. Now, you're not even really seeing New York City. Did you know that? Everything above my shoulder, and I'm going to get out of the way in a moment, everything above my shoulder is the rest of the state. And I am in this orange area up here, East Central New York. Okay? Here's the Hudson Valley region in green. I grew up in that area as well when I was younger. But now I'm going to get rid of myself. And now you see down here in this part right here. Okay? Do you see what we're saying here? Are people starting to get it? Okay? Here's the Long Island regions. Right here, 1A and on. Okay? 2A. Do you see 2A? You can barely see 2A. That's basically the city regions. Now, 90% of New York State's cases are there. And then the vast majority of people who have died are there. Now let's go to a United States map. And this is why, again, I was never for closing down the country or any of the Orwellian solutions for this. Okay, so let's open this in a new tab because we do it live. All right. See that big dot by where New York is? Let's look at it again. That's where the vast majority of the cases are. Look at the rest of the country. I get it. I get it. But again, you look at what it really is, and it spreads so much, especially in a dense populace, that you do have massive deaths there. That's real. So I guess that's the conundrum. I don't think people are realizing that, and I think that's something we're gonna hash out with James Corbett overall. All right, let's take a look. Let's do a refresh. Let's see if we've got any chats. About 10 minutes ago. Yes, so we got one. Thank you for your work. I believe restrictions will ease up soon, but a harder, tighter clampdown will come after. Good. Get food and supplies now. Grow a garden. If you need to move. Love and gratitude. God bless everyone. Thank you, Carissa B. I really do appreciate that. Awesome. All right, let's continue down the line. That's what we do here. We do it live. We do it down the line. Let's see. Stacy said he's a joke. Sniffing babies. Thumbs up brigade. Oh, are we talking about Biden? Imagine if Biden got in. I can't even. It would be the shortest. Actually, I was watching Tucker last night. Sometimes I have Fox News on in the background. Well, I'm kind of just lying there, going through news. And, Tucker had one of these guys on that promoted China through the years and outsourcing, etc. He pretty much eviscerated him. Okay. But Tucker also talked about how it would be the shortest president in history and why it's so important that the vice president, whoever that is probably going to end up being the president of the United States. The fact nobody has called that out in the mainstream, that the man has been visibly senile for some time now, is astounding. Astounding. Oh, hey Jason, how we doing, Conspiracy Mom? Good to see you. Creep Fest should also be in the title of the Joe biography. Yes. Hey everybody, sorry I'm 5 minutes late. Watching 1.5 speed, so I'll catch up shortly. That's fun, funny bedroom junkie. You're great. Don't forget to thumbs up and share for that 50K brigade party. Woo! We did it. Yeah, I know. I'm a buffer. I'm Bobby buffering. Yeah, I saw Ventura 2020. I'd vote Ventura and Green Party 100%. I don't have to agree with everything on Jesse says or does either. But you know what? He puts himself on the ballot. Yes. I would also probably campaign for Jesse Ventura. And we disagree on a lot, by the way. We disagree on plenty. But in a heartbeat, Jesse Ventura. I swear to God, it's my internet. Whenever I come into this chat, it always stops. Republican or Democrat, a one-party dictatorship. Scott Bailey and 2 kitty cats as well. Bully Blue Coal, an illusion of choice. Stream is clear for me. Might be your internet. I thought animals weren't supposed to get it. Let's see. Yes. Well, again, who knows what we're dealing with. That's why I kind of breezed through that. Did you check out the new Manson CIA book that debunked Helter Skelter? Now I have it, and I have to read it. And I know Rogan had him on, so yeah, I should be reading more. You're right. I should be reading more outside of mainstream media and government documents. But the problem is that you get into something like that, and that is, basically a journalistic work based on government documents and detective work. Let's see. Cody is mine for sure. 7 tigers at the Bronx Zoo have the virus. They said, yeah, exactly. Ridiculous. Great work, Jason. Thank you, Stacy. It's called Chaos, Charles Manson, the CIA, and the Secret History of the 60s. What's going on with Ellen's bracelet? Who knows? If you're talking about her leg bracelet, I don't believe there is one. Guys, stop. You listen. Remember when Tom Hanks was arrested? He wasn't. Right? Remember the 10 days of darkness? It wasn't. 3 days of darkness? It wasn't. Remember the sealed, unsealed on the president's podium? It wasn't. There were no children that were rescued in Central Park, those, unfortunately, those were used to mitigate bodies at night. Basically get them to travel where they needed to be. That's what that was for. And in case the surge got bad enough. And luckily it hasn't, because again, they stopped using ventilators in many of these cases. Nope, we won't be reading that, Wesley Johnson. Sorry. Talk about his deathbed. Yeah, no kidding. Do a speed check at Conspiracy Mom if you're really bad. You might want to get in touch with your provider. Sometimes they give you rubbish and can open up the pipes on complaint. Bedroom Junkie killing it. Has anyone asked about the hot mic video? We did talk about the hot mic video. So, and the other weird thing about that hot mic video was saying that everybody was vaccinated, and then against what? I want context when I watch that, and there is none. You know what I mean? Point it out in whatever stream had it live, and maybe I can listen to like 2 to 3 minutes of it and try to get some context. But yeah, when I hear that again, it doesn't surprise me. I've never said this thing is taken out, a huge chunk fatally, because there's so many unknowing carriers. Has anyone asked about? Yes. Can you link the pic from Javits and the FEMA coffins, maybe here or on Twitter? Man, I wish I just had it here. Let's see if I can get history. You know what? Just go check out. Maybe I'll put it up on Twitter later today, because look what I just did there. I went to history. I jumped away from where I wanted to in the wrong spot. Dylan Avery in the house. Looks like we made it. Yeah, I'll look for that picture and I will post it on Twitter, Joey. For sure. Let's see. We did it. We did it, Dylan. We did it. We pay over $100 for the best internet too. Man, I pay $70 right now for my internet, and I think there's fees on that. It's almost 75. Hot mic question is in. Yes, I'm probably just being listened to or something. Yeah, you need to look into that. Hey, Disco Dylan. Oh, we need to get Disco Dylan trending. We need to do a Disco Dylan Avery video. That's the deep fake. Why haven't you deep faked yourself, Dylan, on John Travolta during Saturday Night Fever in his epic dance-off in the middle? I mean, it's not really a dance-off because nobody can compare to the Travolta, hence Disco Dylan Avery. Corn Pop says 20 million. On how many people are in New York? Yeah, no doubt I have a Huawei phone. They are professional and no mics are hot. I think this is more purposeful muddying in the water and pot stirring. I don't buy it. Again, I need context for it, Let's see. Deleted that one. Digit Rufus. Okay. Isn't 1% equals 1 in 100? It's 0.1%. Shroom. 0.1. Not 1. 0.1. Not 1%. Huawei phone is probably safer than any other phone for the average person. Do you want China to spy on you or the rest of the governments? Hey, you got the Android operating system, though, so it's going to go through some kind of a Google database no matter what. That's why nation states are almost obsolete in this track trace database society, and we truly live not in a technocracy of bureaucrats, but a technopoly of the power elite, the media military industrial complex. Friends work at funeral homes. All deaths are certified COVID, stroke, and heart attack, etc. None. That's a lie. That's a lie. I know what you're saying here, TR. That's a lie. You don't. Your friend works there? No, it's not true at all. Not even close to true. And we've debunked that again and again. That's what's frustrating. See, TR doesn't have a real source, and I do, and I'm talking to them. And again, I don't want to get into it because it's just going to get me very, very, very emotional that, people think that they're marking every single death as COVID-19. I have debunked that. That's not, at least not how it's working in New York. Again, we've gone over, but if you want to go to the Truth by Numbers video for my mixed martial mindset, I go over there, but I also go over it. Where else? Are the coronavirus numbers inflated? The uncomfortable truth no one wants to hear. Okay, so if you really want to know, if you want to go and watch something and be like, we're mad, it's fine. You can go there. Oh wow, this Khalid and Oki, what was he, some kind of a Trollski and Hutch? We get the Trollskis in here, guys. Let's see. I really don't think The vaccine is the answer, obviously. Because we are being forced to believe that a vaccine is the only solution to fix the problem, we can't even agree is there. Well, Paige, again, they've changed the narrative a little bit. They've changed the language a little bit to treatment or vaccine. So treatment we can talk about. If you get to tell us what software extensions to use, download, edit your clips, that would be cool, JB. The Firefox extension I had wants to know all my cookie data. Must be another solution. Thanks. What am I using to download stuff? I use CC Clip Converter, clipconverter.cc. It's got a ton of pop-ups and spam, but it gets a lot of stuff. If it has like mainstream music in it, you can't get it there. What I'll do is I can use actually the software I'm using now to bring something up and screen capture it in real time, just like we do here via XSplit. And that's with the pro version. So XSplit will, if you want a one-to-one capture something by playing it, that's like the best tool I would talk about. There's Camtasia and all sorts of stuff after the fact. That's frustrating. I do use that Firefox extension. They can have my data. I don't know what else to say. I spend most of my time on my computer here in front of you guys, or preparing to come in front of you guys with the news. All right, what do we got here? Oh, self-promo. Yeah, we promoing. Have you thought about interviewing George Webb? I don't know enough about Webb, I'll be honest. I know that the Chinese government is listening. I had my phone connect to a karaoke machine and all of a sudden had a Chinese man talking. Thanks for the dedication, Jay. You and a handful of others are the reason we are able to discern. Thank you, Jeff Lerner. George Webb is a fraud and a disinfo agent. See, I don't know. I haven't followed enough of Webb anywhere to really know anything. Thank you, Jason. I think things are going to ease up soon. Oh, look at that. You must be the donator over on the GoFundMe. We really appreciate it. Let's see. The sun emits UV. LOL. Spoke with a nurse who said hospitals pushing ventilators like for insurance milking. Many are noticing and concerned. The ventilator issue is a real one. In fact, let's go over to my Twitter. And one of the guys that blew the whistle on those was Dr. Siddell in New York City, Cameron Siddell. And if you look, sounded the alarm, but I am very happy it was sounded. And yeah, they're basically saying, is there too much reliance on ventilators during the coronavirus pandemic? Honored to be asked to speak on the radio a hemisphere away. Notice that they're talking to him in Australia, but still trying to play him down in the United States. And especially, New Yorkers know what's up with Cameron Siddell. He went viral for sure. And they didn't show you that viral video, did they? And it wasn't like he was talking about alternative treatments, was he? Just throwing it out there, guys. Just throwing it out there. So if that's somebody at Cameron KS, please go follow him for some real on-the-ground information if you want to know what it's like to be a New York City doctor in the middle of all this. All right, let's continue. Strumpets. Let's see. Whoa, did we just jump? Did we do a jump right there? Sun therapy. Did Jeffrey Epstein keep strumpets? There is no WikiLeaks data drop. Kev Camp, I'm glad you said that. All right. So again, unfortunately, there are still people out there that just believe anything that is sent to them. And because someone got a database file URL for all the things WikiLeaks has released over the years, they think WikiLeaks is unlocked. No, there's no data dump. Everything on that URL has been available before. Everything. 100%. Nothing got unlocked. It's like when people were telling me that Google got unlocked. Stop believing imaginary things on message boards. Use some discernment. Think to yourself that long list had so many things that you had heard about. You just hadn't heard about every single drop they put out over the last decade plus. Okay? Man, that frustrates me. You know how many people have sent me that? They're unlocked. In fact, even Franchi was asking me about it because someone had sent him an email when we were doing. I go, bro, no, nothing is unlocked. These are these people that want to believe in dream world, that somehow there's some white hats behind some message boards and telling you clues and breadcrumbs. Listen, we do real news here. All right, we do real news here. When we speculate, we talk about speculation. We get it wrong, we say we get it wrong. But we're very grounded in reality, hopefully. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to ground everybody, no matter what your political spectrum prior to quote-unquote waking up is, to the fact that the predator class does exist and they don't give a fuck about you. In Ridgewood, Queens yesterday, police put up a fumigation-style tarp over an apartment building telling us no pictures and everyone needs to stay inside. Can't even sit on a stoop and cut off the entire block. Damn, can I get pictures of that, Joey? That'd be, man, no pictures, I guess. But still, man, if you could find something on that, I'd love to see it. I wouldn't love to see it. I'm not happy you haven't, but I know that you've been pretty accurate for information down there. I get regular phone messages in Chinese. New sub, hello, 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 Debbie. I don't believe that on George Gibbon CNN just tried to smear him yesterday on a live stream. Okay. George Webb Swigert works with John Olekin and McDuff, the man to smash the CIA. I don't know any of that stuff. Trumpets, LOL, ha 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 ha. Worm Turner wrong, the light my arse, you were clown, just like the president. Please let's not spam insults. We got, what's that, Gaethje Ferguson? Where's that? Let's get back up there. Whoa. Did a little bit of a skipping. What's my pick on, man? And they say in 2 weeks we're going to get this UFC card, which is stacked top to bottom at this point. Like almost every fight is pretty awesome. And I'm itching for it. You guys know that I'm a big fan of mixed martial arts. I hope this goes down. You can't count Tony Ferguson out because, I mean, he is violent and he finds a way. And I was looking to him for him and Khabib, but there's no way you count on Gaethje. Gaethje will hurt you, and he's not afraid to throw it. But I mean, damn, what a fight! What a fight! So I don't know that I can predict that one. I think soup to nuts. Man, so hard. I think Ferguson might pull it out over Gaethje, but I could be way wrong on that. Nurse said hypoxia is seen as well and not addressed by ventilators. Correct, Jack Sith. I agree there as well. Jason, do you need videos on how the Chinese are forcefully drawing lots of blood from black people? What? Listen, I'm not a defender of China. I'm one of the few people that actually reported on the fact that after they did those mass quarantines, they moved their slaves, the Uyghur Muslims, in from the west of China, right, into the factories of over 80 companies. And that's how the supply chain was kept afoot for a time after several weeks. I'm not defending the CCP. Let's get that out of the way as well. Dr. Siddell is awesome. Been watching all his vids. Dude is legit, 100% legit. Thanks for encouraging to reach out to our frontline support staff brother. I'm a clown because you have bad comprehension. Read more books. Don't know what that is. Let's see. Ferguson all day. David Domini says, I need a ventilator with all the prepare beans I bought to get through the lockdown. Hey, beans last a couple years. You don't have to run through as many as you need. Ventilators are a death sentence, 80%. And again, I was one of the first people to talk about that. That for you were on a ventilator, it's pretty much an 80% death sentence. Damn. Thumbs this video up, subscribe, and share. Let's check. Who knows? Maybe we got a super chat ski. We'll check right now, guys. I won't bring you over unless it's there. Nope, we are okay. We are A-okay. Let's continue on down the line. Let's see. I think I got C19 early January. I think it's definitely been here for a while. Sure looks that way, right? Vents, 40K COVID, 15K auto to hospital. All right, Dakota girl, stop. Anybody who thinks that there's some kind of financial motive for the vents is absolutely one. You know how much it costs to run a ventilator in a hospital for just like a couple days, and these people are on them for sometimes 2 weeks? If you think their bill in a New York City or Long Island hospital would be under 40K, you're nuts. You're nuts. These hospitals are going to take a loss. All right? They're going to take a loss. And remember, the state bought them. Listen, Mitch McConnell basically said for New York to declare bankruptcy yesterday. If you think there's a financial motive, especially in New York City, man, I just don't, you just don't get, I get it because, I get it. I get it because, again, when you look at the rest of the country and where even the hot spots are, the country's huge, and that little white dot right here that barely encapsulates the magnifying glass is where the vast majority of deaths are happening. Okay? But that's not what this is. Is it a control and power grab from the power elite? You bet your ass it is. You bet your ass. Let's see. Thundercats Are Go. Best cartoon of my childhood. 50K, bro. Hey, Jace, what do you think about the baseball sign stealing? I couldn't give a rat's ass about it. That's what I think, Scott. Yeah, it's just kind of like I couldn't care less when the Patriots were like tapping into radio communications and plays. +1 for the herd immunity. Hey, 6-string. Jennifer Jarvis. The things with this virus are weird for a SARS-like virus. COVID toes, blood clotting all over the place, which is the opposite of the mechanism of Ebola and sticking power of HIV. Kev Camp. See no evil. Hear no evil. Something. See no evil. Hear no evil. That was triggered by a dump I did 3 days ago, or 2019 WikiLeaks dump. 3 days ago. Let's see. Hydroxychloroquine is a big pharma poison. Works for blood clotting. Have you integrity and don't just play the conspiracy base, Jason? That is admirable. The conspiracy base, listen, man, this is the thing. I'm still waiting for it to come out, but we're waiting for this Wired article to come out on the 15th, for the 15th anniversary of Loose Change, right? And he's supposed to come on the show afterwards if I still have a channel. And, you know, he keeps trying to equate us with truthers and truther this and trutherism. And I say, look, man, I've been trying to tell the truth. And we were, quote unquote, labeled with that as a media smear. All right? A media smear for trying to tell the truth. The 9/11 Truth Movement is where they took that from. And I was part of that, quote unquote, movement before it was a movement. So I don't relate with the term truther, because you just slap it on any kind of thing that someone says that's contrary to the quote unquote official version in any way. And just because it's contrary to the official version doesn't mean it's real. We have to base our thoughts and actions in reality based on information that we've used discernment against. Jason, what about Trump suggesting disinfectants for treating sick people? This is the guy who has the atomic weapon. That's not really what he said. He said to disinfect, an injection to disinfect. I watched it in real time, I believe. I think I might have watched yesterday's in real time, at least parts of it. And, you know, the guy was just trying to say that, you know, basically an injectable treatment. You know, for all I know, it could have been intravenous steroids and vitamin C, but I don't know. He didn't act like he was like, let's get some bleach or whatever. People hate the guy. And in this situation especially, I'm a little bit more sympathetic to him. Let's see. Tom Price says YouTube. Julian Assange exposed pedophile rings and Hillary Clinton corruption, so he has to be kept in social isolation. Crazy. Yeah, I mean, and war crimes. You know, we keep going. I mean, war crimes, money laundering, pedophile rings, corruption in the government, Podesta, a lot. The people who believe in fantasies drive me wild too. I heard a news report about letting prisoners out of jail for COVID-19 in New Jersey, but they are not allowed to talk to the press about the situation there, or else they would be sent back. Total coercion. Well, what would you do? If you were a prisoner and they said, don't talk to the press, we'll let you out, you're leaving. Because there's plenty of deaths in prisons as well as there are in nursing homes, okay? Bedroom Junkie Worm Turner. I made a Sterling Trump bleach meme on Twitter earlier that one immediately cost me a few followers. Nobody can take a joke these days, because it is kind of a joke. I get it, Bedroom Junkie. He does great stuff, by the way, Bedroom Junkie, if you're not following him on the Twitter. You need to be following him on the Twitter. Man, that's a big jump, huh? Damn. Old Jumpski McGee. All right, guys, let's see. What time is it right now? We're going to go on for 10 more minutes, and we'll check and see if there's any other super chats over at the GoFundMe. That link is in the bottom, and then I will address those and get out. So 10 more minutes, and then we'll go there. If there's nothing, we'll wrap it up. If you didn't get the disinfectant joke, you're hopeless. Let's see. How are people supposed to know unless someone tells them, relax, bro, so many black pills? I don't know what that means. So many black pills. You get some desperate people to ask their doctors to wash their lungs in disinfectants instead of putting you on the ventilators. That seems to be way dangerous. I think if you were talking to your doctor and you said, wash my lungs out with disinfectants, they'd go, what are you talking about? And he didn't say, it wasn't like he was like, well, all right, we're going to get some home disinfectants and we'll do that. Obviously, again, he was talking about something else. I put a mirror of the 2019 WL archives on Mega, and people freaked out and thought it was new info. That was you, Drufus? Good for you. Thank you. So yes, there it is. We've done it, guys. We've debunked the unlock. We've found the source. Drufus, they'll probably say that we're making this up, by the way. That they're just trying to take credit for the WikiLeaks mega dump. Yo, good for you, though, Drew. You got a lot of people looking at stuff that's been around for some time. So I think, if it's the 2019, it probably has the OPCW documents in it, too, since those, I think, were all released before January, were they not? I think December was the last dump there. So that's interesting. I tried to take pics. They told me no phones, and I can't see it from my apartment window. Not trying to get tossed in jail. Check out Tracy Bean's video of California doctors. California's not hit nearly as much as us. And again, let me show you a map. No one's saying those hospitals aren't empty. Elective surgeries are over, guys. Again, when I even reported from New York, half the hospitals were empty. We were talking about that. So New York, okay, there's the state. It probably would take up to about here. Okay, remember, the vast majority of cases throughout the country are that little white dot. Now, California is probably, I don't know, 3 times that size. And remember, out of 20 million, on the other side of that white dot and beyond, that's about 14 million people, on any given Sunday, since there's so much, tourism and traffic, et cetera. Maybe not the whole population, but upstate New York, you're talking about, 8 to 10 million more than likely. All right, when you look at California, it's just so spread out. Look, here's San Diego, here's Los Angeles, there's Santa Barbara, here's Frisco all the way up here, here's Oakland and Sacramento, and then you can get it even further, like Sonoma County, up in here, man. The Redwoods, the deal. It's a big state. So a lot of those hospitals are going to be very, very empty. Very, very empty. No one's gonna see. That's the dichotomy. Everybody has to be a little more nuanced. Let's see. Is your ex-girlfriend recovered now? I haven't talked to her in several days, but every day I was talking to her, and I think she's fine, or she better have said something to me. But she said each day, basically more taste, more smell came back. But the thing is, I don't know how she's doing financially. I guess she gets to work once a week. We have to touch base again this week. But, as far as I know, there have been no tragedies via my personal life. Thank God. Thank God. Let's see. Hey, Drufus, Xander Cortons, why do people not know that Fauci, Birx, WHO are all connected to Bill Gates? COVID-19 was also financed by Bill Gates. See, that's where you're wrong. COVID-19 was not. That's like such a broad, ridiculous statement. It was financed by Bill Gates. Have there been research into coronaviruses or patents? Yes. Yes. From a wide ranging of sources, because not COVID-19, just coronavirus in general. True, we're kind of on our own. Jack, for people in position of power, will be Huckleberry. Willful ignorance, hey Kimber, would change the last George Webb live stream where CNN tried to smear him and Benassi to protect Benassi was interesting. I don't know what that's about. Hi, Drew. Hey, Kimber. Well, that is used to treat the disease, so it's obvious the powers that be will attempt to squash a treatment. Will Jason Burmis set up another panel, perhaps with Whitney Webb? I I'd love, Whitney's pretty booked right now. You know, she got on Jimmy Dore, Tim Dillon helped blow her up. So, you know, she's doing great. The Last American Vagabond.com has a lot of her exclusives too. So make sure to go check him out. Ryan Christian, I got to get him on the show again. There's also a new trail word for Ridgeward to assuming for bodies. George Webb is the most incredible investigative journalist to ever walk on this planet. Okay? Hey, Jack Sith. We all know there's psychos out there. The bad news is they like to rise to power. Hey, Drew. Yay for Whitney Webb. Whatever happened to the prison riot? They just blacked it out nationally. It happened. A whole wing of the prison was taken over. We did the video. Here, for those, again, that doubt me that there was a major prison riot in the United States that just totally went under the radar because it didn't really make national news, go check out prison riots in Kansas, COVID1984, coronavirus, AMA. So, and I'm, by the way, also glad those haven't been more widespread. Let's hope they're not. Let's hope they're not. But to say they did not happen, oh, they happened. Send him the videos. Again, if we're talking about Uyghur Muslims, you know, I'm not sure, you know, what's going on with Africans. Maybe somebody should send me things. You are not up to speed on information. Please don't become the disinfo warrior. Michael Barger, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, Michael? I mean, I hope that you're not one of those fantasists that, you know, again, like believes in imaginary people on message boards. Hope doing well. Drew, my brother. Yeah, I hope you are doing well, my brother Drew, as well. Drew does a lot for this channel. Helps try to keep it under control. Gaethje has the Homer Simpson technique, but Ferguson's pace is unreal. I can't wait. Check out the Truth Hammer on Twitter. Is there global food shortages? Only contrived one. There's plenty of food all over the place, everywhere, and there should be. Death Clutch all day. Woo! I like some Death Clutch. Death Clutch. Actually, I like Clutch. What's Death Clutch? Is that the like Cartoon Network one? Yeah, I think that is. No, that's Death Clock though. Clutch, the band is badass. I'm not saying you're for them. I want you to break the news. I can link you up with victims. I got to know what's going on. Jason, what about Trump suggesting disinfectants? We went over it. There is a brown one who doesn't like the black one. I have to admit, QAnon's got some pretty weird screws and hangers on like David Wilcox. I don't even want to get into it. Not to mention the below average people. And it's pro-Trump propaganda that lifts spirits. You know how you lift your spirits? You do stuff in your own life. You know how I lift my spirits? Spend time with my nieces. That's what I do. Okay? Take a walk with my dog. I used to get out and have a beer. And actually, I'm going to be on Politics and Pints. I'm going to be recording that tomorrow afternoon. Looking forward to it with the Jackman brothers, Eric and Mike. So that should be really fun. Looking forward to that. I'm going to be drinking some beers. With my boys. Per nurse friend, the range is estimated 34%, 83% fatality from the jump. They are seeing towards upper end. Oh, maybe on the ventilators there. According to New York City's health department, but are they talking about BiPAP and CPAP also? 72.1% of the folks that died in New York City as of 4/14/2020 were 65 and older. Of those, 79.8% had pre-existing conditions. Yeah, no one said it wasn't going to affect the older people more. I never said that this was a young person killer. You have a better chance the younger and healthier you are all the way around. You made me so happy. Crash, take the chip. Let's see. The same report shows that 95.6% were 45 and older, and with 76.3% having pre-existing conditions. Exactly, but think about that. That means 24% of them did not have those pre-existing conditions, old or not. Again, that's somebody's grandfather, that's somebody's grandmother, that's somebody's brother, sister. Come on. Nope, no other super chats. So what's that mean, guys? I think we're going to wrap it up. We almost hit the bottom. I really do appreciate everybody that has now come and joined the Burmese Brigade. Thank you. Thumbs this video up, subscribe and share if you can. $5, $10, $15. It means the world to me. And because of you guys, Oh. Oh. I did just order volume 1. Here's volume 10. Okay, there's volume X, 96 to 2008. So, let's see, that's 12 years. That means maybe there would be one this year. I think this may be the last one. This may be the last of the latest. I thought that was really cool to get this bad boy. Belonging in Bohemia. That's one of the chapters. So I got the very first one. That publication's over 100 years old, and it's thanks to you guys and your support. So once again, thank you very much. Thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Join the Burns Brigade. Check out my Daniel Pearl Joe Biden video that nobody's talking about. Check out my playlists and the documentary section. I know we were going here for something earlier, right? We never did. Oh, man, there was something I really wanted to show and post. Oh, I'm going to post the FEMA coffins picture later on. But a lot of good stuff over here following me on Twitter. I'm on the Mines. I'm on the Rockfin. That's another way you can support me. Guys, I love you, and I'll see you on the flip. Thank you so much.